Hey guys, I am Dimension Jump and today I'll be reviewing Fairy Tail 2, which was released back in December of last year. Now this is the sequel to the first game and is also an adaptation of the Fairy Tail anime and manga. And this adapts the final season of the original show, so not the sequel series, the 100 Year quest arc, but the Alvarez arc. It's basically following the arc of where Zeref attacks Fiora to try and take the Fairy Heart, which is the first Fairy Tail Guild Master, and just use it to like rebuild the world and just use it for ultimate power, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's basically it's up to Fairy Tail as well as their ally to try and stop Zeref and his the 12 Spriggan. And yeah, it basically follows the whole of that particular arc, but as like an RPG type of game. And yeah, I would say this is a good continuation of the first game, as well as like how it adapts the story. And yeah, I think what makes it different to the first game is the way that the combat's handled. Because I will talk about this a bit more in the gameplay section, but the combat is quite different. It does have some of the similar things, so like there are like some weaknesses, advantages when it comes to like fighting specific enemies. You can have like up to a party of about 3 or 4, and yeah, but what makes it different is how the battle is done, and I think the main thing is how it's done, because with the first game, it'll be turn based. So one character goes, then another character, and then the enemy might go, that sort of stuff, and then you'll see like your MP being reduced. But in this game, in Fairy Tail 2, it's different in terms of like if you want to use the much more advanced skills. So if you were playing as Nasu, let's say, and you want to use Fire Dragon Roar or Fire Dragon Wing Attack, you have to build up a meter, and then depending on how much the meter is filled up, you can do a particular attack, and you can also do a chain attack for those moves. So let's say if Natsu was using a Fire Dragon Roar, he could then do a Fire Dragon Wing Attack, and then let's say one more Fire Dragon Roar. And that's kind of how the combat does it. And yeah, I'll probably talk about it more in the gameplay section. So yeah, and with the way the game's done, it's kind of like you go to one particular location and then you do a boss fight, and then a particular plot point from the show and the manga happens, and then that's translated into the game. And yeah, I think it's quite fun. I do like how this game like does stuff, because when you're going from one place to the next, you do fight a bunch of goons or monsters or whatever, and then you do level up, and then you can go to the boss and then fight them. And in the open world, or in the overall open world, you can find these things called pool spots, I believe they're called. I might be misremembering some parts, but what these are, they hold enemies, and once you defeat them, you get like a lot of experience and some quite good loot from it as well, and that's quite good. And yeah, it still keeps a lot of stuff from the first game. Like it's got like whole open areas and stuff like that, and some collectibles you can find in the world, like one of Lucy's celestial spirits makes a comeback in terms of the collectibles. I think it's Plu, and you have to find a bunch of Plus around the world, and then when you give them to Plu, you'll get like specific items and stuff like that. So yeah. And now it's time for some gameplay. So, similar to the first game, you've got basically this huge, like, open area sort of place. So, like, so you can, like, move from, like, one area to the next. You can also find and fight different enemies. And the combat is different, but similar to the first game. It's the same, in which you can use the moves that are shown in the game as well as manga and anime, but the way it's done is that you have to build it. You have to build up to particular moves in order to do it. So if you wanted to do like summon Virgo, you have to do like you have to like summon or do like you have to like build up 3 times to summon her. Or if you want to um, do a particular move, that would cost more to do a whole lot more. And also you've got Fairy Rank, which will give you different characters. So for example, you've got the Exceeds, you've got Milkovich, I think that's the name if I remember, and Altair, yeah, and you've got there's another Ghana. You've got you can go to a variety of them, and with each one they are very different. But again, like with the moves, you have to find you have to like wait until like you can build them up to use those specific moves, and each one is vastly different. Levy and Kana, that's the other one, and each one has their own different animation and stuff. So yeah, that's quite cool, and again, it adds a whole lot more cool stuff to the combat, and it makes you want to like use more stuff, and like use more moves, use more ways of fighting your enemies. And you can run, you can like do a sort of like dash thing for a limited amount of time, and you can find magic tools which will help you gain more experience or get more loot, that sort of stuff. And also, this game has the Magic Origin, which is basically the skill tree section of the game. So each character that you play as has 3 skill trees to unlock. So fighting, virtuality, or like stuff that I think this one's like all about your health, I believe, and stuff like that. And you've got like defense, that sort of stuff. And each one will cost an origin point, and if you can get more, you can unlock more of the particular skill tree or any of the skill trees in the particular area that you want to do skills in. And I think that's really useful because then it can help you unlock more moves faster, as well as just able to using new moves and change the moves as well, because I believe, if I can find it, skill equip. So you can change your skills around. So like, if you wanted to change out Star Rain Plus, you can change it for Fleuve de... you can change it for that one. I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong if I do try and pronounce it correctly. I might try. Hang on. Fleuve de 12. I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong. But yeah, the point is, you can change and mix and match moves for the particular characters that you might want to use. So yeah, and then like in the first game, you can not unlock. You can unlock, but you can use and equip lacrimas to your characters so that they can do better in fights and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's going to go back to the review. So overall, I would say that Fairy Tail 2 is really fun. I think it's an enjoyable game. I think it's a good adaptation of the source material that it's adapting from, and yeah, I think when you compare some of the stuff from the first game to this game, there were a lot of big differences. For example, Happy's character model, if you compared his character model to the first game, his model is kind of creepy looking, and because whenever you saw him cutscenes, he was just like he would have these like big blank sort of stares. And in the second game, I would say that he's less creepy now, because it's probably been like a few years since both games, or since the release of both games. So there's probably more time to make the character models a bit less creepy when it comes to Happy, that sort of thing. So yeah, and I would say the combat, I enjoyed the combat a bit more in this game because you can do because of the amount of chain attacks you can do for a particular character. And yeah, I think it's a really fun game. And if you played the first game, I highly recommend you play this game. So yeah, so that's been my review for Fairy Tail 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.